pulled in. One down is Xiaohu behind enemy lines, but his team is being picked apart in the meantime. Betty is down, and ZDZ has a stopwatch. Is it enough for him to walk away? PinZ falls in the end.
RNG just doing a great job of cleaning up the members of AL. That even started off as a 4v5. RNG just feeling confident that they have the burst to be able to take the members of AL down because Breathe had to TP in. Now they're going to be able to transition to Dragon. Great job sending Angel to the top lane to make sure that wave gets pushed in, get a bit more pressure, and deny more golden experience from the side of AL. Just doing a great job of taking everything they can off of that winning fight.
Yep, RNG. Like you say, just the vision control so heavily in there. These carries in trouble. Gala down finally. Xiaohao trying to finish the job. Tangyuan no mana. And Xiaohao with a double.
Xiaohao just dancing around that team fight. I believe he picked up 3 of the kills, even though it's just double in the end because of how drawn out they were. PinZ, I'm pretty sure, got the initial one onto Ming. And huge that AL are doing such a nice job of playing around their mid-jungle. Gore Drinker now picked up. ZDZ, to be careful, brother. Members of RNG can be on their way here. Is, you know, dying first does give you the luxury of also coming out from base first to be on the map, which is, again, always kind of a weird thing in League. But this looked like another overstep from Sword Art in regards to trying to control vision.
To win a fight without Gala. The bomb's coming on through, but health bars are so low for anyone's legend. They're still surviving. Breed gets one with the Sunfire Cape. Finally taken down, but anyone's legend win it again.
Xiaohao finding the flank. It doesn't matter how many tools you have there appealing for Gala, whether it's a Shen Shield or just the amount of CC that Tangyuan provides. AL have so many avenues to get straight onto Gala. And now it's going to turn into a Herald. It's going to turn into pressure on top lane turret. CDZ should just outright be able to take this one. And we're going to see in the replay. Love it. No vision here. Gets straight onto Gala. Kick comes through. Shen Shield not enough to save him because look at the follow-up. PinZ jumping right in. Betty able to throw the bombs. And then Xiao able to fall with the safeguard and get more damage.
3v5 now as PinZ almost finishes Tangyuan. He walks out with his life. Has recall available as Ming steps on forwards. There's a taunt onto PinZ. Low on HP. The smite is there. Knock up from Breathe as well. No way do they turn this around. Gala with another. Xiaohao and Sword Art sent packing.
We see RG find an opening, a crack in the armor showing from AL, but they're trying to attack the map from different lanes and gives RG the ability to take the fight and turn it into a dragon of their own. So AL still huge lead on their side. Still the ones in control of the game, but RNG finding themselves some good old breathing room.
Oh yeah, and that's good when you've got Breathe on your team.
Yeah, but here, 4 members synced up. PinZ isn't here. He's actually trying to find a flank, but isn't able to. All of RNG just run forward to make sure that Betty goes down. And then it's this, right? We said all the different angles RNG have to worry about, people jumping in.
Surviving for the time being, but Tangyuan goes down. Gala on the backside, already used that stopwatch, but surviving. ZDZ jumps onto the AD carry. No flash available for him though. And Gala now, PinZ turns it around against him. 1 HP. Way has to carry, and he might just do it. But Breathe is the one to step up. Brings down the hammer and grabs himself a triple.
RNG are the ones finding the coordinated engages, and it is paying off in spades. They win another fight right before Dragon, and they're going to be the team on Soul Point.
PinZ coming in from the backside of the play. Wei is here and has smite. There should be no way that PinZ can grab this Drake for himself unless Wei messes it up. There we go, Soul Point for RNG. PinZ can't make it happen. RNG keeping themselves in this game.
RNG doing a spectacular job. And their coordination at this point is just better. Tangyuan and the trade comes out, but finding his way onto the backline. No flashes on Betty, Sword Art, or PinZ, so they all get locked up. They go down, and then a huge thing to me is, sure, we have people like ZDZ coming in on the backline, but Gala with a stopwatch, able to keep himself safe, and then they do a great job of protecting him. The CC coming on through, and then they do end up killing him in the end, but he'd already gotten, you know, the job done. His damage had already been put out.
Yeah, good bit of damage onto Betty there from Gala. And it's so tough to play against this Jax as Draven, right? The threat that he brings in, but with that flash, perhaps things can be easier. Cleanse not available. No summoners for Gala here. He's in trouble. The damage is landing, and he's down. Raid boss eradicated. And AL just sweep up after that. I think that might be over.
Yeah, we're at 40-second death timers. Just barrel down the mid lane, be able to close this one through. And we saw at the end of the day, teams punishing the others when flashes weren't available. I love the trigger pull coming out from AL.
And just when things looked like they were coming back for RNG, AL find their moment, they find their chance, and they obliterate the Draven, punishing this overconfident draft from RNG, this experimental draft from RNG, and showing they are not a team that can be trifled with.
I do feel like we saw both teams, after missteps, realize like what they need to slightly pivot to do better for RNG in the mid game, right? Because AL, if you missed it, great job in the early game, getting off to a head, amazing team fights. Pinzy and Xiaohao especially, such a threat.
Counter-strike, and here comes Benny on the back line. One already taken. Is Ming and Breed trying to escape? Xiaohao doesn't have much energy right now, but should be able to finish Ming off. Sonic Wave goes wide. Ming with a bit of fancy footwork, but it does not matter. AL managed to find the fight.
And now AL can turn this into a Baron huge. And I'm saying it. Don't let it be your birthday. Don't let it be your champion's birthday. Don't let it be your grandma's birthday on the day that you play an LPL match. Because I'm calling it here. You just don't win. Or much. Am I setting up? Ooh, I thought I cursed it. I thought I cursed it.
I was real worried there for a second, but they do get the Baron. They walk away with it. And my goodness, are RNG going to lose to AL? Are AL going to get their second win on the board?
I mean, AL, once they close the gap, again, who's really taking the stand? You have so many avenues once again to be able to punish ZDZ. My God, allowed to get the Shacks 3 times in a row.
Trying to get the Rockets to finish Sword Art, but like, what do you really gain if Sword Art's dead? His ult is on cooldown already. That's all he's bringing to the fight.
He's already done his job. So a lot of those tools is being blown, wrong targets, and now we're seeing how hard it is for RNG to push it forward. And earlier you hit on right, can we see things like the Blade of the Rune King come out? For the Jax, AL's composition much better set up to play around sides this time. So even with it being slightly nerfed, does come through. Is Betty, you need to be careful.
It does, but equally, RNG just kind of whiffing on the play. The rest of the squad come in through the Realm Warp. And RNG now, it feels like the pressure is on for them. It feels like they've got to make something happen because slowly but surely,
AL set up so far to win this game, might even just get their third Hextech Drake in a row here.
Pins big damage onto Way here, onto the whole squad in fact, as Gala almost gets finished off. Pins has not even taken damage yet. Finally they turn onto him, but here comes Betty onto the backline, ZDZ on the flank as well. And AL have picked RNG apart. The fight is over before it even began. Pinzy setting it all up, and Betty and ZDZ knock it down.
I mean, Pinzy just sidestepping every single skill shot being thrown at him, and then able to just barrage them with those Qs. Now 4AL gonna have some minions here to play with this, and Genitral Arrow goes wide, but not only are they gonna get their third Dragon, like I said, third Hextech Drake in a row for AL. Also get bot lane turret. Pinzy might even be getting mid here. Didn't look like he was actually hitting turret, was just pushing it away, but we'll see. Way gets locked down and chunks so low. And I mean, hell, Way's the only one that has like point and click, easy to land CC. He's already taken low. Pinzy was sidestepping everything else. They'll get chunked, and then Betty following it up with the ult. I love that he knows he's the safety of ZDZ's teleport as well, so he doesn't really have to fear overextending too much. And then just able to run them down. I don't know if that flash was necessarily needed. Pinzy maybe should have held on to that one for the future, but they're in such a commanding lead right now.
He wanted a bit of credit for the play that he realistically set up all by himself. 1v3 winning
He's 1-0-7 after doing all the heavy lifting there.
I know. But Betty the one to get the credit as he flies in and makes the play. Angel currently 0-0-0 in this game as well. Like, that's a mid-diff right there. 107 for Pinzy, who is just looking fantastic today. Honestly, he's had a great day.
But it also just feels like so hard or weird to like, because you're not really matching your eyes and sides, right? You're kind of just catching waves. Ideally, it's the Syndra. You want these team fights. You need a front line in front of you to be dishing out as much damage as possible, and you just really don't have that. So RNG kind of have like this 1-4 where both Varus and Syndra are catching waves mid, and everything's on your Fiora to be able to go and capitalize. And it just isn't able to pan out.
Pinzy is so tanky. even when he does take some skill shots, like a lot of HP to work with. And, managing to walk away with more than half of his health. No sustain in the composition though, so it does mean like that poke will stick. And that's what RNG want, right? Is to be able to poke at range like this before a fight. It's just whether or not they can find that opportunity consistently. Nice bit of mechanical play from Way there. Onto ZDZ, the grand challenge is there, but there's Betty to turn it all around. And RNG are getting annihilated. Anyone's legend. Living up to the second word in their name.
I thought ZDZ was dead, but the arrow and the counter-strike setting up for Betty to come in. Xiaohao finishing off some kills as well. It's going to happen. AL going to be able to take down RNG.
This is unbelievable. Xiaohao, 100% kill participation this game as well. Betty with the insane ultimates. ZDZ running it into the tower in the final minute of the game. But it doesn't matter. 14-1, anyone's legend with a massive upset over RNG.
Huge props to the whole top side. ZDZ, Pinzi overall, feel like they had like a great series. Xiaohao, I mean, was just a standout. Even the bot lane, right? Like, Betty had good moments. Like, again, we've talked about the 2v2 isn't exactly there, but if you know your 2v2's weakness and you can like draft and play for team fights, that's a solid game plan to be able to take over games. And then Sword Art with his veterancy, you know, helping glue and bring it all together. So AL, I mean, taking down RNG. And like you said, RNG, maybe this could have been a 2-0 had they not elected to bring in Tangyuan in game 2, had they not opted into a draft and had a lot of like off-meta flavors. But they opted into that, and now it's just hoping that they don't regret a situation like this later down the line. You know, they can still manage to get in the playoffs, and they can look back to this as like, hey, we got some experience, we like learned this, or we know like we don't want to run this comp, or maybe like we need to give Tangyuan more time. Whatever their takeaways are, hopefully they're... And there they go, Mark! Minions at the base! They're barreling down! No, what can you do? Jackie Liv is just too big. I want, wait! Please stop esports. Take this game seriously. This is way too disrespectful.
Oh my god! They're actually not gonna win!
What is this?
For the love of God.
What is this? I honestly feel bad.
This is a competition! This is a tournament! Top esports they don't give it...
I honestly feel bad. Like, WE deserve better, man. Well, okay. You know what? We are I don't know. We are unbiased observers to this action. I feel nothing to this. You know, deep down, you all know how I feel. What is going on, man? Top esports. End this game is, we're still not at the 20K gold lead. Top esports now gonna pick up their...